best start to a day I might have ever had.
Yes guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome to the George Benson Football Channel for possibly one of the top mornings I've ever had, to be honest. Yes, we beat Barnsley in the EFL Cup third round 6-0, which I've got to tell you because it's just one of those things really. I did call it earlier in the day on the Chelsea FC Instagram page. If you don't follow me on Instagram, it's at Mr. George Benson. Chelsea 6, Barnsley 0. I mean, look at this. The sun is rising behind me. I woke up to watch the game and I got 3 hours sleep, and then I got so excited after what I witnessed that I couldn't go back to sleep, and I'm here now making you a video with the sun coming up. There's a couple of volcanoes to my right, the sun's coming up to my left. I'm in this beautiful villa, one of my friend's places in the north of Bali. And yeah, if you're not yet subscribed to GBFC, this is the home of Chelsea content on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe. 6 things we learn in the most incredible fashion. It's 6 AM, we scored 6 goals. We've got a hat-trick for Kai Havertz. We've got a clean sheet. We've got Frank Lampard laughing on the bench. It's been an incredible, incredible match, this one, and I think it's the perfect reply after the defeat against Liverpool. And I want to just give Barnsley some credit, because when you look at 6-0 and you look at the fact it wasn't Premier League opposition, it would be very easy for people to jump on the train of, it's only Barnsley, they're a team in the Championship. Barnsley were actually very good today, and they created a lot of opportunities. They looked solid. The keeper made some good saves. They forced some saves out of Willy Caballero as well. But it is the first time this season, and the first time with the new graphics, that we get to use the blue box. And of course, there would only really be one man for the blue box, although there's a couple of players that I feel like deserved a really good man of the match performance today. But the blue box is, of course, for the man who's been in more thumbnails than any other Chelsea player, even last season, and we've been doing these videos for over a year. Kai flipping Havertz. This is what we're talking about, ladies and gentlemen. 3 goals, all scored, I think, with his left foot. And the second one is the one that I really want to focus on the most in the analysis here today. My eyes are a little bit tired. Give me a moment. The first goal, beautiful dummy. Mason Mount with the pass. Tammy Abraham with the dummy. Kai Havertz is coming in behind, tucks it away. Nice little finish into the bottom corner with his left foot. But it is the second one that I really want to focus on in this video today, because for me, this is exactly what I was excited about when we announced the Kai Havertz signing. It was very similar to goals that we have seen throughout the years from our manager, Super Frankie Lampard. It was a goal where he ghosts into the box last minute. Again, it's a beautifully deft touch from Tammy Abraham, who was absolutely fantastic today. Beautiful goal. And again, the third one, little bit of luck. Brad Collins, ex-Chelsea Academy boy. He comes out. Kai Havertz is sharp. He's alert. He's aware. He takes it round the goalkeeper, or passes it past the goalkeeper. And at one stage, I thought he was actually going to dribble the ball into the back of the net, which would have just shown the confidence that this kid has. But considering the first 2 matches, considering he did come in for some stick, which of course is always going to be expected as a result of a big money move, Kai Havertz gets a hat-trick. It's not just one goal. And even the most beautiful moment for me, I saw CFC Hale put it on Twitter. I didn't put it anywhere, but as soon as he scored his first goal, the heavens opened at Stamford Bridge, as if to say, you know what? Welcome to Chelsea. It's a beautiful moment. The pictures from tonight all over social media were absolutely incredible. Chelsea were fantastic, and I think this, what we've seen from Kai Havertz with his first goal, I was a little bit, even though I said in my match preview I thought Havertz would start, I was a bit surprised as well. Whenever I do a match lineup, I always think of the strongest possible lineup. I was like, he's got to score tonight, because after coming in for a little bit of stick from the first 2 games, it wasn't dreadful from him, but everyone's not quite match fit yet. Everyone's kind of, hang on a minute, I'm not even match fit myself. Delicioso. Don't even know if that's a real word. But when I saw him get minutes, I knew that there were going to be chances. We're playing against the Barnsley side with a very attacking Chelsea team. And we did create chances. A Kai Havertz scored 3 of them. So I could sit here and talk about him all day. There will be a Chelsea news video later on where I'm going to look into some of the responses on the Havertz hat-trick a little bit more, as well as announcing a new signing here on the GBFC channel. Box number 2. It was a brilliant performance tonight from a man who is under a little bit of pressure himself right now, and I think the way that he dealt with it and the way that he came into the team tonight, Tammy Abraham, of course, He was absolutely excellent. He scored the first goal, he opened the score in after a nice little touch round the defender. Beautiful finish, hit it low and hard with power to give Chelsea the lead after Barnsley were threatening. You know, they were creating opportunities, they looked as though they could have scored early on if it wasn't for some very good saves from now probably third choice goalkeeper Willy Caballero. Tammy Abraham opens the score in. He pretty much, even though he didn't touch the ball for the assist for Havertz's first goal, it was Abraham's movement and his instinctive nature to let the ball go through his legs that allowed Havertz to go on and latch onto it. The second one, beautiful touch again as Havertz ghosts into the area to score Chelsea's goal. Tammy Abraham was absolutely fantastic, and I think that what his performance does is it shows that even though Timo Werner has actually made a good start to his Chelsea career, he might not have a goal yet, we've seen how good he can be. We know that he likes to play on the left-hand side, cutting inside, and I think it's something we might even see this weekend against West Brom. If Christian Pulisic isn't fully fit, there's no reason why Frank Lampard should just rush him straight back into the team. Tammy was absolutely excellent, and I firmly expect that his performance tonight has definitely put him in the forefront of Frank Lampard's mind when it comes to that match against West Brom on Saturday night. I thought Tammy was excellent. I thought his work rate was very good. Obviously, he scored a goal as well, got on a couple of assists too. Chelsea scored 6, and if your striker's still scoring within that 6, he gets the confidence, not just from his own performance, but he also gets the confidence from everybody else around him who is performing tonight at an incredibly high level. This is a good video. I'm enjoying this one. If you want to hit the like button, let's see if we can hit 10,000 of them for the first 6-0 of the season. I feel like we could be seeing Chelsea score a bucket ton of goals quite a few times this year. We moved though into one of the debutants, and it was of course Thiago Silva, the 36-year-old Brazilian. It feels weird seeing Thiago Silva in a Chelsea shirt. We're used to seeing him in the blue and red of PSG. We saw him in the early stages of his career in Milan, the yellow of Brazil. Seeing him in a Chelsea shirt, again, I think what I predicted in my lineup was that he'd play alongside Azpilicueta. I haven't given Azpi a box, but I could have easily given Azpi a box. I know that will frustrate some of you who don't think I give Azpi enough credit, but I think the two of them alongside one another were absolutely brilliant this evening. Azpilicueta, perfect role model for what it means to wear the Chelsea shirt every single time you step on the pitch. Doesn't matter if it's a friendly, EFL Cup, Premier League, Liverpool, West Brom, whatever it may be, Azpilicueta puts on that shirt and gives absolutely everything. Focusing on Thiago Silva, who's the man I've given the green box today, the composure that he shows on the ball is exemplary. And I think if we look at what Zuma's done in the early stages of this season, we've seen developments in his game. Tomori as well. Players like this can learn from Thiago Silva, and I think he's the perfect role model for the rest of these Chelsea defenders. A position that was a sticking point last season. We weren't perfect defensively, but I'm getting eaten by ants down here. This is a little bit frustrating. How nice is this sunrise, by the way? It's absolutely redonkulous. Thiago Silva was brilliant. And I don't think it's a surprise that the first game that he comes into the team, yes, it's Barnsley, I'm going to stop saying that, but a clean sheet, absolutely brilliant stuff. We move into box number 4, and this man could have had a couple more goals, but he didn't. He got 1, and I think that what we saw from Ross Barkley tonight was, again, showing that he could be utilised by Frank Lampard and this Chelsea team in various different positions. Later on in the game, we saw him in more of a deeper role. He's not a defensive midfielder. I'm never going to put Ross Barkley in the defensive midfield bracket. These ants need to look off right now. They're doing me head in. But later on in the game, he did ghost into the box and he missed an absolute sitter. I'm not going to sit here and not talk about the sitter. He should have scored, which would have made it 7. But then, you know, my prediction of 6-0 wouldn't have been correct then. So thank you, Ross, for just thinking of me there. I'm going to say he probably has no idea who I am, but it doesn't matter. Ross Barkley I thought was very good, and the goal that he scored again was very typical of what we've seen over the years from Ross Barkley. On the edge of the area, be it his left foot or his right foot, he's very, very useful, and he scored a goal for tonight, which I thought was brilliant, and I think it gives him the confidence that when Frank Lampard's going to call upon him this season, we saw the Havertz hat-trick. We know how much Frank Lampard loves Mason Mount. We've got Ziyech to come back, Pulisic to come back. Opportunities might not be aplenty for Ross Barkley this season, but again, all he can do when he's given the minutes is get himself on the score sheet, create opportunities for his team. One of the key frustrations with Ross, for me, is always his decision making. Sometimes he shoots when I think he should pass, or sometimes he makes a pass to his left when he could have made it to his right. But I'm giving him a green box today. I'm in an RM whether it was going to be Azpi or Ross Barkley. Chelsea did have to do quite a lot of defensive work today. Barnsley weren't bad. Chelsea were absolutely excellent. But I move into box number 5. I've given him a yellow box, and I know that this could come in for some questions because obviously Chelsea have won 6-0. It should be 6 green boxes. Callum Hudson-Odoi. In the second half, I thought he improved. I didn't think he was bad in the second half. In the first half, I feel as though he was in his own head. I think if Brad Collins didn't make that save when the score, I think, was still 0-0, if Callum would have scored that goal, I think we'd have gone on to see a masterclass from him. And I could be stood here saying Callum Hudson-Odoi scored a hat-trick in a blue box instead of Kai Havertz. Brad Collins made a very good save. And there were a couple of moments where I just thought he was a little bit slow, he wasn't so sharp, he was trying to take players on, probably to try and prove a point, which I actually really like, by the way, and it's a reason he's a yellow box, because he didn't play bad, it wasn't that electric lightning Callum that we really wanted to see. And I think considering the performances of some of the other attacking players, I don't think it was enough to get him in for the starting 11 against West Brom. I think he's probably in his own head a little bit right now. He's obviously still very young, and yeah, I understand that it doesn't help when people like myself are giving criticism, or I wouldn't say I've been critical so much of Callum, but I firmly agree with what Frank Lampard is saying. If a player isn't training to the level that's expected, then he can't be expected to start games, and I think that's an absolute given. There's a doggo. Hello, geezer. He's a nice one, he is. He's been a good boy for the last couple of days. But yeah, Callum Hudson-Odoi is a yellow box. He did improve in the second half, and I think that obviously comes when the team is winning and you don't necessarily... you can actually make more risky runs, and you can make more risky attempts to take players on. Not writing off Callum Hudson-Odoi, of course. I still think he's got a massive part to play in Chelsea's future. I hope he doesn't go out on loan, and I hope he doesn't leave. But he gets a yellow box today. And we move into box number 6, and I think it was a very good performance again today from Mason Mount. Every single time he starts, I know that some people criticise him, some people think that he's Frank Lampard's boy, and other players deserve to play over him. But there were moments in that second half where, despite the quality on the pitch for Chelsea, Mason Mount was the best player, in my opinion, for many times during this game. The way that he keeps running, the way that he does ghost into the area, he missed the free kick, he had a couple of chances where he could have scored. This game could have literally been like 10-4 and no one would have been surprised. I thought Mason Mount was absolutely excellent, and I think it's very important, despite some people not thinking he should start, or maybe he shouldn't be starting on the wing and he should be starting in the middle. It's going to be very competitive this season at Chelsea, and I think Mason Mount last season played his way into the Chelsea team. He played over 50 games in his debut season, and again, at times tonight against Barnsley, I thought he was absolutely excellent, and I think moving forward, Frank Lampard is going to have a very serious selection headache, not just for the game against West Brom, but for all the games that are coming up soon. Olivier Giroud, honourable mention for him. He scored a trademark diving header. You know, it's going to be tough for Frank now. Who's going to start up front? Do we see Timo Werner start on the left wing and Tammy Abraham start up front? Like, I have no idea what he's going to do for the game against West Brom. Got a few days now to create my team for my match preview, but I'm going to revel in this one for a little while. I'm going to keep sipping this slightly cold now Balinese coffee. Going to enjoy this beautiful sunrise behind me, because why the bloody hell not? And if you guys enjoyed this video, why not hit the like button? If you're not yet subscribed to GBFC, I do 6 things we learn after every single game. Sometimes with slightly less tired eyes than this one, but the games are often on late in night here, which isn't quite ideal, but it also means I get to enjoy this when I wake up to film for you in the morning. Follow me on Twitter at Mr. George Benson, same as Instagram, links in the description down below. This is a good one, 6-0, 6 things we learn, 6 AM. What more could you want in life? See you guys next time. Bye-bye.